I pick Mudkip as my starter, and I take the starter in 2 tackles. It's Pokemon Pearl, by the way. So I named it Subscribe, which is what you should do. And also because I'm a really creative YouTuber. So no other YouTube does that. Whatever. Rival fight. First rival fight. Starlight down 1 tackle. Then his Turtwig started with withdrawing as we tackle each other. You know, he withdraws a few times, and we start tackling each other. And ironically, at the very end, when he's at 1 HP, I get a critical hit. My luck in these games. Alright, Rourke time. But since half his Pokemon are 4 times weak, well, like 2/3 of his Pokemon are 4 times weak, I took out an Onix G2 with 1 water gun. Then Cranidos went down in a few water guns. What an easy first gym. Too bad I'm going to keep up with Erica. Gardenia. Fucking all the grass gym leaders are the same, really. Yeah, all the rock gym leaders, basically. I think most rock gym leaders in the game always have, besides the Gen 6 one, I'm getting that myself. Mars, too bad goes down, that's the easy part. For Ugly, I was able to water gun down eventually. With Torrent, I was able to kill her with on 3 HP from her pain attack. Great. Alright, Gardenia time. Take down 1 shot to Cherubi. I did a bit of grinding because I knew I was going to have to grind it. I water gun or Turtwig to bring it down to a little under half to take down 1 shot it. Last episode, Roserade. Because of Sun Sport, she misses. I'll bring it to about half health, takedown plus berry, then she kicks me out with Magical Leaf. I'll come back after a few hours of grinding. I miss my first takedown. I get Leech Seeded, then take down Cherubi, and then I use takedown on her Turtwig, 1-shot it this now. And last episode, Roserade. She goes for poisoning, I get poisoned. I take down, I take it out in 1 shot, and I beat Gardenia. Alright, Jupiter fight. I take down her Zubat, 1-shot. Next up for the Skuntank, I just start Mud Slapping it. It's super effective and it lowers accuracy, because this bitch can critical hit you to death. It smoke dreams me, and yeah, it's long drawn out, and yeah, I miss more than she does, which is bullshit. I took her out to takedown, giving me a 14 health. Alright, Rival Fight Berry time. I forgot about this fight. I take down 1-shot his Starly, mix up his Grottle, take down almost 1-shot Sprint the Red, uses Razor Leaf. I take it down with a water gun. Next up is Buizel. I miss a takedown, goes for Growl, uses Quick Attack, and my next takedown kills it. Last up is Ponyta, 1 water gun takes it out. Alright, next up is Smaline. I use Ice Beam on our Meditite, just because Ice Beam does more damage than Water Gun. Then I just Water Gun it down so she was going to heal. Next up is Machoke. I use Ice Beam, bring it down to about 40%. Another Ice Beam takes it out. And last up is Lucario. I start Mud Slapping her Lucario down to get the lower accuracy. And I eventually do lower it down to as low as it can. I lower it down. I hit Mud Slap a lot. I can't talk. And I have no script, so this is me freeballing. And I eventually take out a few Water Guns as she heals. But luckily, she can't hit me for shit, and Bone Rush is already terrible accuracy plus Mud Slap. So yeah, that was Maylene. Long, drawn out, but easy, really. Alright, Crash Awake. I Ice Beamed his Gyarados, bring about 60%, another Ice Beam rotted to about 20, he uses Dragon Rage, he heals, Ice Beam brings it to red, another Ice Beam takes it out. Next up is his Quagsire. I go for Ice Beam, brings it down to 25%, he heals a Super Potion, then I Water Gun it down twice. Then last up is his Floatzel. He goes for Swift to go for Mud Slap. Realizing that's Swift, I just kept going for Ice Beam. This is his Brine, luckily. I freeze it, but it thaws out 1 turn. So Swift and I use Ice Beam. He uses Brine, leaving me at 14. Ice Beam, Chris, take it out. And by the way, Monkey can't learn Brine. It's fucking bullshit. Alright, time to do a rival fight. And since it's Pearl, his Starly still doesn't evolve. So I Ice Beamed it 1-shot. Grottle went down to 1 Ice Beam. Ponyta's next. 1 Water Gun took it out. And then honestly, his toughest Pokemon for me is Buizel. Not because it can damage me or anything, it's just the fact that it's so damn stally. You'll see that in the next rival fight, though. Alright, Fantina time. She gave me some troubles where I had to get to level 64 before I could actually beat her. There's this Magius, Psybeam. Ice Beam brings it about a half. She's confused, right? I go for Ice Beam again. Bring it to 1 HP. She goes for Magical Leaf. Magical Leaf's the dangerous part. Water Gun takes it out. Yeah, she was harder than Gardenia, even though I didn't lose to her. Alright, next up is Gengar. I'm confused. Ice Beam brings it down to 25%. She heals. I snap out Confusion. Ice Beam brings it back down. Goes for Confuse Ray. I hit myself. It goes for Spike for some reason. I snap out and I use Ice Beam. I got lucky there. Alright, next rival fight time. Staravia now evolved. 1-shot with Ice Beam. Next up is Scroddle. 1-shot with Ice Beam. Next up is his Ponyta. Water Gun 1-shots it. And last up is his next up is Heracross. I use Water Gun. Brings about 60%. Now Water Gun brings it to red. He goes for Brick Break and Aerial Ace. Water Gun takes it out. Last up is Buizel. And this is where the stalling part happens. I just eventually stall it down. And I won eventually for a lucky crit. Alright, time to fight Byron. And after figuring out his Bronzor has Levitate, I eventually take it out with Water Guns. Next up is his Steelix. One water gun did it in. Two water guns did it in. Then last up is his Bastiodon. I love Bastiodon. He's such a fun Pokemon. Such a good Pokemon. I love the fossil Pokemon. Alright. So I went for Mudslap because it's 4 times effective. But I also went for Water Gun, which is the same amount of damage. So I decided to stick with Water Gun when another Water Gun takes out. And that was him. Time to fight Satyr, I think his name is. His Kadabra starts off with Shock Bites. I go for Ice Beam. This is my strongest move to hit with. Then I finish off the Water Gun as he heals. Next up is Bronzor. And well, a few Water Guns took it out. Last up is Toxicroak, which could be annoying, but Ice Beam got into about 25. Uses Mud Bomb. Ice Beam gonna take him out. Next up is Mars. She's off Golbat. She's supersonic. Luckily I don't hit myself. I use Ice Beam and take out Golbat in one shot. Next up is Bronzor. I snapped out of confusion. Then I use a few Water Guns. I start using Water Guns to take it out, and eventually I do. Last up is her Ugly. And well, that went down no problem. Whew. Yeah. A few Water Guns took pretty Ugly out, but damn. It's kind of annoying. Fat cat. Stupid fat cat. Alright. Next up is Candace. She leads off with her Snover. I go for Water Gun to put her in range of kill for an Ice Beam. Take it out. Next up is her Abomasnow. I use Ice Beam, bring it to about half. He uses Grasp, so I fall asleep. I hit by Hail. I'm still asleep. He uses Avalanche. I'm still asleep next turn. He uses Wood Hammer. Brings it to 20 health. I'm still asleep. Hail brings it to 10. I wake up, use Ice Beam, take it out, but I also go down to Hail. 5 levels later, I come back to Candace. And I start off Ice Beam, one-shot the Snover. The next up is her Abomasnow. I use Ice Beam, bring it down to about 25%. He's spare. Uses Avalanche. I use another Ice Beam, taking it to red health. Uses Grasp, puts me to sleep. He chooses a Hyper Potion. I'm asleep. Still asleep. I'm asleep again. Chooses Wood Hammer, bring me to 22 health. Hail brings me to 11. I'm still asleep. He chooses Swagger for whatever reason. The Hail takes me out. Alright, 5 levels later, I'm back again. And I use Ice Beam to still one-shot her Snover. Next up is her Abomasnow. Ice Beam, one-shot. Ice Beam brings it to 25. And this is Grasp, thankfully. Then Ice Beam takes it out from there. Yeah. Next up is Sneasel, but nothing really impressive. Just a few Water Guns took it out. Then last up, since this is Diamond and Pearl, is Medicham. Which is cool, I like Medicham. I'm glad it's getting some more love. He uses Detect. I go for Ice Beam. I use Ice Beam again, take it out, bring it to red health, but Hail takes it out as it bulks up. Alright, next up is the first Cyrus fight. Merker goes down to 1 Ice Beam. Then his Golbat goes down to 1 Ice Beam. And last up is a Sneasel. I started uses Ice Punch, luckily not freezing me. I bring the Water Gun, bring it to under half. Another Water Gun takes to 1 health. Uses a Super Potion. Water Gun takes it out. Super Potions to the very end with Cyrus. Alright, last Saturn fight. Water Gun gets crit and one-shots his Kadabra. Bronzor. Water Gun brings it to 25. Uses Confuse Ray. I luckily don't hit myself. Water Gun takes it out. I level up. And then next up is Toxicroak. I hit myself in Confusion as it gets from Poison Jab. I use Water Gun. Bring down to under half as it eats its berry. Then I don't hit myself again. I use Water Gun and take it out. Alright, time for the Galactic Double Battle. Probably the most hated battle in this game for challenges. I use Water Gun on one of the Bronzors, taking it out. 2 Water Guns take it out. Next up is Jupiter's Golbat. I use Ice Beam to take out Jupiter's Golbat as much like Sippies hits itself. Next up, Skuntank. I use Mud Slap on it, getting a crit, bringing it to under half. Eats its berry. Goes a Flamethrower. Misses because of the Axie Drop. Much hits for Body Slam on Skuntank. Doing damage, I use Mud Slap, bringing it to 1 health. And then Bronzor gets taken. Bunch has to take it out. Mud Slap finishes off Skuntank. Next up, now it's just Mars' Pokemon. I start Water Gunning it down. His opponent keeps hitting himself with Fusion right before Bronzor went down. Set up a light screen. Annoying. Next up is Per Ugly. It hits me with Hypnosis. And Ponyta keeps hitting itself. Like, I think Ponyta hit itself all times in a row, but I woke up, and I got a critical Water Gun taken out. Then Ponyta misses is still there. Then Ice Beam go back to red health since light screen's up. Ponyta hits itself in Confusion, and Water Gun finishes out. Thankfully, Barry heals us for this. So Ice Beam, one-shot his Honchkrow. Next up is his Gyarados. Ice Beam brings it to 60%. It goes for Giga Impact. Another Ice Beam brings it down to red. He heals. Ice Beam brings it back down to 1 health. Then Ice Beam takes it out. I got crit, ironically. Then next up is his Crobat. Luckily I don't push from Air Slash, and Ice Beam take it out. Last up is his Weavile, and Weavile is annoying because it could freeze me with Ice Punch, but a few Water Guns did him in. Whew. Now that Cyrus is over, time to fight Volkner. His Raichu goes down to a few Mud Slaps. Next up is his Luxray. I start Mud Slapping it down after I set him Mud Sport to lower his electricity moves. Yeah. Mud Slap. Eventually, his actually gets slow enough. I go for Ice Beam, taking it out there. Next up is Ambipom. I go for Ice Beam, bring it to red. He uses Baton Pass, sends out Octillery. I use my remaining Mud Slaps on Octillery just because that's a Pokemon I probably want to have least accuracy. Hits me with a Charge Beam. The next, I keep going for Mud Slaps, and then I finish it off with a Nice Beam. Sends out Ambipom. He heals it with a full restore. Then 2 more Ice Beams took it out. Whew, see you at Elite 4. Before the Elite 4, we have Final Rival Fight, and well, it was easy. Ice Beam one-shot Staraptor and Torterra. Luckily, I out to be, because Torterra probably could have killed me with a Wood Hammer. Next up, Snorlax. I get a lucky crit with a Waterfall and take it out one shot. Next up is his Heracross. Waterfall brings it to red health as an air release. Does a bit of damage. Waterfall takes it out. Next up is his Floatzel. I start Mud Slapping it just because it's the best way I can stall. And eventually, I took it out with a Nice Beam. Yeah, last up is Rapidash. One Waterfall did it in. Alright, now time for the actual challenge, the Elite 4. By the challenge, I mean not Aaron. Because Aaron sucks. Dustox, one shot with Waterfall. PewDiePie, one shot with Ice Beam. Heracross, one shot with Waterfall. And annoyingly enough, Vespiquen didn't do any damage. It's because pressure was annoying. So I had to use one of my Ethers before Cynthia. But luckily I also have a Max Elixir, so it's whatever. Alright, then finally, Drapion goes down to Mud Slaps. After I Mud Slap it a lot, then I take it out. Alright, next up is Bertha, and well, let's just say she wasn't that much of a challenge. I Ice Beam her Quagsire, because I didn't know if it had Water Absorb or not. It doesn't, but whatever. Next up, Sudowoodo, one shots with Waterfall. Next up is her Hippowdon. I say a lot. Waterfall takes it out, one shot. Then last up is her fucking Golem, and Golem's 4 times affected to Waterfall, so yeah, it's dead. I meant Wishcash is last up, and Waterfall takes out one shot. Nino can't talk. Alright, next up is the Fire Trainer Flint. But this game only has 2 Fire types branches. He has Rapidash and Infernape. Both go down to 1 Waterfall. Rapidash charges Absorbing, never got it off. Infernape hits you with a Thunder Punch before dying. Next up is Lopunny. He goes for Fire Punch. I go for Waterfall. Bring it to red health. He heals it. I go for another Waterfall. Get to red health. And a Nice Beam takes it out. But me being stupid, I used all my Waterfalls before I beat Steelix. So I use Mud Slap on his Steelix, Mud Slapping it down, bring it to red, as he goes for Sunny Day. Then after Mud Slapping a bit more, I decide, you know what, fuck, I'm just gonna go for Ice Beam. It's stronger. I bring it on to red, then a nice Ice Beam takes it out. Last up is his Drifblim, and a few Ice Beams took it out after he hits me with the Will-O-Wisp. I used an Elixir between these to next fight, and next up is Lucian. Since I'm Mr. Mime first, I go for Waterfall, taking it down in one shot. Critical hit too. I don't think crit was necessary. Waterfall takes out his Medicham in one shot. Next up is Alakazam. Alakazam hits me with a Psychic, bringing me down to a lower half. Waterfall takes it out one shot. Next up is Girafarig. Uses Crunch. I go for Waterfall, taking it out in one shot. Last up is Bronzong. Waterfall brings it down to 25%. Eats a berry. I guess we're Calm Mind. But since Waterfall is physical, it doesn't do anything. I get a crit unnecessarily. But I put the Shell Bill on Mudkip, and I Max Elixir between the battles. Waterfall brings her Spiritomb down, then she swaps out to her Roserade. I hit it with the Waterfall, then I outspeed with a Nice Beam and take it out. Next up is our Gastrodon. Waterfall brings it to 25%, uses Stone Edge. I use a Waterfall, take it out, and Shell Bell brings me back to 200 health though. Next up is Lucario, goes for Aura Spear. I go for Waterfall, taking it to red health. She heals, I go for Waterfall again, bringing it down to 1 health, basically. She gives me another Aura Spear, leaving me at 54. Another Waterfall takes it out. Next up's our Garchomp. It luckily misses a Dragon Rush, so Nice Beam takes it out one shot, giving me some much needed health back. Next up, Spiritomb. She heals it. I go for Waterfall, bring it down to red, I'm back at 100 health, and another Waterfall takes it out. Last up's for Milotic. I start Mud Slapping it down lower attack, so I need to stall it out, because for Mirror Coat, doesn't do too much damage, because Mud Slap's not doing a lot. I get to -6 Mud Slaps, and then... Alright, I keep myself being to -6, just because Milotic can stall me out, but I can also stall it out. It sets up an Aqua Ring after I hit with all my Mud Slaps. Then I go for Waterfall. Bring it to red health. It flinched. Then its Aqua Ring brought it to yellow. 1 strength to get out, and now I'm the champion, beating Pearl with only a Mudkip.